Welcome to Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa, and welcome to ESPN's coverage of the 2015 Outback Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Happy New Year, and the fans are set for football here in Tampa. It's number 19 Auburn and number 18 Wisconsin. SEC meets Big Ten, and that's a theme here in Tampa. That's been a bowl theme so far. The SEC against the world. Hi again, everyone. I'm Bob Wischusen alongside Matt Millen, and Quinn Kesnick will join us in just a moment. Barry Alvarez told his team, and he is on the sideline today, obviously, for Wisconsin, this is a game about attitude. Coming off the Big Ten championship game for Wisconsin, coming off the Iron Bowl for Auburn. Both teams disappointed with losses. Who wants to be here more? That's the question today.
And who wants to win here more? And both teams getting drilled in those respective games. And then on top of it, coaching changes, hard coaching changes within the organization, and brings you down here, and it is attitude. And it's control what you can control. Your attitude is the biggest one. How you prepare, what you're going to study. All those things come into play, and we'll see if they pay dividends here in the game.
Well, one thing we know is going to come into play, both of these teams, they're going to try to run the football because we've got two outstanding running backs. We'll start with the SEC's rushing leader, Cameron Artis-Payne.
Cameron Artis-Payne, week in and week out, saw some of the toughest defenses in all of college football. And when you watch him, he is one of those guys that just does everything right. He's a good inside runner, has great balance, has good power, catches the ball well. He's excellent in protection. He's a student of the game, so he knows exactly what's going on up front. It's one of those guys you can depend on game in and game out. And guess what? Next year, you'll be watching a lot of him, too, because he'll be playing in the stadium near you.
I have a feeling that the other guy in this afternoon's game might be playing on an NFL stadium near you next year as well. Melvin Gordon, a finalist and the runner-up for the Heisman, sets a brand new rushing record, breaking Wisconsin's Ron Dane record in 1996, most rushing yards in the Big Ten. He wins the Doak Walker Award as the nation's top running back, and we're getting a look at why.
Yeah, and what he can do is he can break it from anywhere in the field. He has great speed, but he also has good patience on the inside. And so how do you plan? Well, I think what you'll see here is a blueprint of what Ohio State did the last time they were out. And what they did is they played 9-man fronts, more than 8, one more on top, and then they were just very physical. Now, to Wisconsin's credit, they had a shakeup in their offensive line, and Barry Alvarez has been able to handle that and get the people back in. They're healthy, and that should bode well for their running game.
For the second time in 3 years, Barry Alvarez coaches the bowl game for Wisconsin, and he's standing by with Quinn.
Coach, how have these young men reacted to the loss in the Big Ten championship game, coupled with the loss of head coach Gary Anderson?
They've been resilient. They bounced right back. The coaching staff has been very professional. They haven't missed a beat. The kids have really given us their full attention in practice, and I think they're ready to play.
What is your role today?
I'm going to manage the game.
What are your emotions right now?
Just like the old days.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Q, thanks very much. And Matt, when Barry Alvarez says, I'm going to manage the game, what does he mean by that?
Well, that means what he's going to do is take the big picture, macro view. He's going to let his offense and defensive coordinators do the specifics. So they'll be in the game plans heavy, because they have been, but he'll time manage. He'll tell them when to go for things. If you're going to go for it on fourth down, that type of thing. It's a macro view, and really, it's a CEO view. But, Shoes, that last comment, just like the old days, you can't take the fight out of the dog.
No, he puts the headset on, and it is back to Camp Randall on Saturday afternoons for Barry Alvarez. Andrew Endicott will kick it deep. Corey Grant and Rudy Ford back for the Tigers on Wisconsin. War Eagle. It's the Outback Bowl here in Tampa. And Grant will take a knee. So we spent in our open plenty of time talking about Cameron Artis-Payne, and rightfully so. When you lead the SEC in rushing, you've had an amazing season. But what about the career now of Nick Marshall? He is number 6 in total offense in Auburn history, number 3 in total touchdowns, number 6 in touchdown passes, and this for a player that wasn't originally thought to be a quarterback.
Two things with Nick Marshall. He's surpassed anything anybody thought he could do, and he's gotten nothing but better over the course of 2 seasons. And here's the bigger piece. He's a bigger man than people think. This kid's 215 pounds, and he's got great speed. Very athletic.
Talk about stacking the box as well. How about Wisconsin? Creeping 7 players right up near the line of scrimmage, and Ricardo Lewis starts with an end around and starts it well for Auburn as we take a look at today's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, one of the things that you watch with Sammy Coates is his ability to break a defense. He's got great speed down the field, and that will be a factor in this game. And strong safety Mike Caputo is a guy who's got to be involved in this run game. They'll keep him around the line of scrimmage.
Marshall brought down behind the line. So just like that, with Marcus Trotter making the stop, Wisconsin forces a third down.
Yeah, and so this is what they're going to have to be able to do. They're going to have to be aggressive up front, and they're going to have to play man on the outside, which, when you're doing that, you're taking a chance with Sammy Coates, because he can get on top of any coverage.
Well, Sammy Coates did not get the start with this Auburn group. We were told he was going to start the game. He was not out there with the ones when they were running through their 7-on-7 pregame, and he's not out there now. Cameron Artis-Payne didn't get there as well. He's about a half-yard shy. Warren Herring submarined Artis-Payne, so it looks like a 3-and-out for Auburn to start.
That is a huge deal for Wisconsin. And I'll tell you where, in the confidence department. They're not very big up front. Herring's about the only guy who has any kind of size, which is kind of weird when you say a Herring has size. But he's a good, tough player inside, and that was a needed third down stop.
Daniel Carlson handles all the kicking duties for Auburn. Redshirt freshman, not only the place kicker, but also the punter. And Kenzel Doe is a dangerous return man. The rugby-style kick might keep it away from Doe, and it does. Well done by Carlson. All the way down to the 11-yard line. So field position not working in Wisconsin's favor, as Joel Stavi, the redshirt junior, will take the field for the first time. Now, he does not put up nearly the prolific numbers that a Nick Marshall does, but he wins. He came on in relief of Tanner McAvoy against Northwestern, threw 3 interceptions. That was a loss for Wisconsin, but since then, he is 7-1 this year as a starter and 20-7 as a starter for his career.
He's going to have to play his best game today. If I'm this Auburn defense, I stack the box, go man outside, and make Stave be your left hand. Beat me left-handed.
Melvin Gordon in motion, flexed out. Stave under some pressure, throws across his body, wide open up the sideline. He's got the tight end Arneson all the way out to about the 37-yard line. That's a gain of 26. First play for Wisconsin.
Well, there are some keys that Wisconsin has to be able to have. And the first one is handle Melvin Gordon, and that means load the box. The second thing, Stave has to have himself his best game. And that's a great start for Stave, because so much of this game is about confidence and how you start, like we talked about in the open. Control what you can control. Attitude's the bigger piece.
Our keys to the game brought to you by Franklin American Mortgage. And the first carry for Wisconsin brought to you by Melvin Gordon. And he's stopped by Chris Frost after a gain of 2.5. And Matt, we knew, based on talking to the Wisconsin coaches yesterday, this first quarter is going to be on Joel Stave as they go hurry up. And he's got all kinds of time. Swings one to Gordon behind him, and a loss of a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Part of the confidence has to come from his offensive line. Now, the last time out, they were in a championship game and they got drilled. And what happened was in the interior of that offensive line. You see Volts right here, the center. He's back, he's healthy. That's a big deal, because with him out, it affected essentially 3 positions. Now they can take Llewellyn and put him back to guard, and then they're solid across the front. And in communication, it's a big deal, especially on 3rd downs for protection.
Stave bullets one to the sideline, and there's the flag. Alex Erickson, the leading receiver for Wisconsin, tied up with Jonathan Mincy, and it looks like it will be a 1st down for Wisconsin.
Auburn is a guy, Auburn's defense should have the advantage in terms of coverage.
Defense number 6, spot foul, automatic, 1st down.
I misspoke. Erickson's not a real fast guy, so Mincy has the advantage there. He had the advantage really because he's holding him by the chest.
Becomes a 13-yard penalty, puts the ball right at midfield. Alex Erickson, 51 catches this season. The rest of the active wide receivers today for Wisconsin had 37 catches combined. So Erickson is the go-to guy for Stave, no question. A little jet sweep to Corey Clement. He's loose to the 30. Clement down to the 10-yard line and knocked out of bounds at the 5. They'll say he stepped out at the 7. First and goal, Badgers.
Clement had an advantage. He caught Auburn in man-to-man coverage. So what does that mean? Watch these two guys outside. They're going to stay with their coverage, and it widens the field. And then it makes them more blockable. Clement's able to take that lane to the inside because they secured the edge, and you're first and goal.
Corey Clement is the roommate of Melvin Gordon and the heir apparent to Melvin Gordon. He should be the guy next year for Wisconsin.
Well, you talk about loading the box. Look at this. Nobody moving out.
And a rollout for Stavi. Has a connection into the end zone. Guess who? Corey Clement. Touchdown, Badgers.
That's exactly what Wisconsin had to do. 1, they needed a fast start. They were able to do it. 2, Stavi has the production they're looking for. Not only does it give him confidence, but it gives this offense some confidence.
How much does that first drive loosen up that Auburn defense, knowing that Wisconsin wants to give the ball 30 times maybe to Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, that's a big piece right there. In this puzzle of a game, Clement is the wild card here early, but Stave's the one who produces, and he's the one that they have to be aware of.
What a start. Already 7 push-ups for Bucky Badger, as Wisconsin's got the touchdown lead over Auburn. And we'll see if Sammy Coates is available on this second offensive possession for Auburn, as the Tigers about to get the football back, but they trail by a touchdown. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, and Quint Kesnick here in Tampa.
Shoes, that was huge for Wisconsin. They are notoriously a slow starting team. They needed a fast start in this game, and they've got that first part down.
Corey Grant again will take a knee and bring it out to the 25. A little bubble screen. Quan Bray is introduced to Peniel Jean, and that's a loss of a couple.
Hello, Mr. Jean. How are you? Having a good day? What are you doing? Oh, just knocking into people around here. That is a good read by Jean. One he'll have to be careful of. That aggressiveness, jumping this throw, will make that be a pump and then get behind him. So he'll have to be careful as the game goes on, but well played.
Good throw outside by Marshall. Makes it 3rd down and manageable. Marcus Davis with his 12th catch of the season, tied up by Darius Hillary.
That's important by Hillary. Now, one of the things you're going to have to always do against an Auburn offense is tackle well in space, whether you're in the passing game or in the run game. Here we go in 3rd down. Let's see if that tackling in space doesn't come into play yet again.
It's a strength of both teams, offensively for Auburn, defensively for Wisconsin. Marshall on a rollout. And an easy pitch and catch to Quan Bray. First down, Auburn.
You know, Shoes, one of the things that we've heard as they go to the hurry up, they're saying, you know, you got Duke Williams, he's out, and now you look on Sammy Coates isn't playing. They have kids down there, you just don't know their names yet.
Nick Marshall goes to work. There's the first catch for Coates, uses a stiff arm. And Sammy Coates is close to an Auburn first down, and Matt Millen will digest. It's now 2nd down and 1.
Well, there's the shrimp right there. It tastes a lot better than it looks, trust me. Sammy Coates is a physical freak. He'll bench over 400 pounds, but he'll need to learn how to run his routes better. And when he gets that down, he's really going to be hard to stop.
Five-man rush. Marshall over the middle. Low throw. Is it scooped up? Looks like Marcus Davis has a first down.
Wisconsin defensive front is not very big. I mentioned to you earlier. Herring's the only guy who has any kind of size, and this Auburn offensive line is big.
They're not wasting any time either. Down close to the 20-yard line.
And in the center of that group is Reese Dismukes, number 50, their center. Outland winner, Remington winner, as the best center in college football, had a great year. However, in the Alabama game, did not play very well. And that hurt this offense. He needs to be playing at his high level, and it looks like he's off to a great start.
Marshall to Bray. Fights his way down to about the 1-yard line. First and goal for Auburn. A gain of 20 as Quan Bray stopped at the 2.
They go to their hurry up right away.
Artis Payne into the end zone. War Eagle on the board. An extra point away from a tie.
That's what they were looking for. And they did it on the legs of Artis Payne and Nick Marshall with some early throws. Once you soften up and get people off a little bit, Payne's able to take advantage with that size differential of this Auburn offensive line.
12 rushing touchdowns for Cameron Artis Payne. First team all SEC. Caps an 8-play, 58-yard scoring drive. And we are tied at 7.
You will never see this shrimp.
Cameron Artis Payne. He was the workhorse on the drive, but it was Quan Bray that got the Tigers down to the 2-yard line. Artis Payne polishes it off, and we're tied at 7. From the 3-yard line. Ogunbowale brings it out to about the 21.
But Shoes, here's what's going on. Okay, Auburn is still saying, okay, Stavi, go ahead and beat us. We're not letting Gordon beat us. They're still sticking with it. They haven't deviated at all from their initial approach. They're going with tight coverage on the outside, loading that box up inside. Here comes a safety walking down right now. You're going to have an 8-man front again. Now, Gordon's run a ton against 8-man fronts.
This time, behind the line, it's Ladarius Owens that makes the stop on Corey Clement. That's a loss of about 5. That should take us to the end, and does, to the end of the first quarter. And a good start. The Outback Bowl tight as could be, between Auburn and Wisconsin. Tied at 7 here in Tampa. And happy and a healthy new year from all of us to all of you as well. The cheerleaders over on Clearwater Beach, part of the Outback Bowl experience for everyone from Auburn and Wisconsin. It's a great spot to come for a bowl game, and we had a very good first quarter. Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quinn Kesnick here at Raymond James Stadium, home of the Bucks. Melvin Gordon caught behind the line, extends the play, and loses more real estate because of it. What a hit by Robinson Therese as he buried Gordon along with some other Tigers all the way back near midfield.
Yeah, it was Therese that he saw bursting from that second level. Therese's 27. He's going to come off the left side of your screen after he makes the turn. And he is full bore. And it's because of that that play is made, because Gordon had a chance to bounce that thing.
3rd down and 25 with Gordon on the sideline. As Wisconsin will just try and, you'd think, get in field goal range here if they could on this play.
You don't try to get it all, just get back underneath.
Stavi avoids a sack, throws one over the middle, that's intercepted. Travon Reed with his 3rd pick of the season.
Reed does a nice job of just staying in the hip pocket, and Stavi doesn't lead him well enough. He's able to find some time, but he throws that ball behind. This should have been a completion. Ball's thrown behind. Reed makes the pick. Said going into this thing, Auburn knew. They said, look, we're not letting Gordon get going. make the quarterback beat you. That's what they said all week long, and that's what they're sticking to.
Corey Grant, maybe a yard. Again, it's Peniel Jean out on the edge making the stop for the Badgers.
He's a pretty good player, that Peniel Jean. He's a good tackler in space, and that's not easy to do. What he does well is he'll take the right angle from inside out. See how he did that? Inside out, he squared up, allowed him to get to the edge, and then burst from the inside. That's well done.
Nick Marshall looking deep. Ricardo Lewis behind the Badgers. Touchdown, Auburn.
Shelton let him get on top of him. It looked at the end that he was looking for the free safety, like, where were you? But Lewis just ran right by Shelton. Here's Lewis on the top side. He's going to just hit the seam. Watch. Beats him right at the start. Now it's a foot race. Safety's eyes are in the backfield. Never has a chance. And that was over fast.
Third touchdown this season for Ricardo Lewis, and that is his career-long play. 66-yard touchdown. And Auburn on top by a score with 8 minutes to go before halftime.
Yeah, and Shelton, Shelton had position to the outside. The free safety's eyes were still in the backfield when Lewis hit that second gear, and it was history. You got to know who can beat you at all times. When you're that middle guy, you cannot get beat deep. It is a cardinal sin.
And both Tiger touchdowns off of big-time field position. You get the pick, the short field, and also a bad punt back in the first quarter by Meyer. Gave Auburn field position near midfield. And both times Nick Marshall takes the short field and puts Auburn in the end zone. And there is the new Badger head coach watching this game from the stands rather than watching this game where he will watch all future Badger games, and that's putting a headset back on and patrolling the sideline.
That's a good coach. The thing you like about him, he's got some high school background in him as well. And he's a guy who knows whoever walks in that door, that's who you coach. And it doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how much your player knows. He gets that.
Jet sweep, Kenzel Doe down the sideline. When Paul Christ was the offensive coordinator for the Badgers, their offense became, from a middle-of-the-road offense to when he left, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, and he knows how to coach the run game, and he knows how to integrate it in that play-action pass game. That's what he's really good at. He did it at Pitt the last couple years. Pitt got better each year. He'll do the same thing here at Wisconsin.
Plus, he's a Madison guy.
Yeah.
He's a Wisconsin guy. He wants to be there. He wants to be the next Barry Alvarez. Wisconsin has all of their timeouts in good field position. Stavi to Jordan Frederick. A yard shy of a first down.
Frederick's done a nice job here in the first half of blocking on those little screens.
Brought down by Jonathan Vinci. 2nd and 1 at the 49.
Blitz coming. Stavi well protected, so he goes up the seam, almost throws another interception with a flag down. Arneson, the intended receiver. Robinson Therizi sagged back in coverage, and it's going to be against the Tigers.
Yeah, he was beat. Yeah, Arneson had him. He threw it behind him again. It's a second throw like that.
Defense, number 27. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Therizi doesn't like the call. Arneson had him leveraged. By that I mean you get him to his side. See how he has him to the right? He had him on his shoulders, but that ball is thrown completely behind him.
Quick slant. A little too low for Kenzel Doe.
That should have been caught.
Kenzel Doe's only 5'8", so you really have to throw it low for Kenzel Doe not to be able to scoop it up.
You had to throw it low for Kenzel Doe.
Keep going with that.
I'm running out of it.
2nd down and 10. And Wisconsin, remember, won the toss and deferred. So they'll start the third quarter with the football. They have a chance to string together back-to-back possessions here. But they're across the 50-yard line again. Both of the interceptions thrown by Stavi have been in plus territory.
He's got a nice matchup on the safety with Arneson.
5-man rush. Stavi rolls right into the pressure. Somehow keeps the play alive, but eventually goes down. It was Gabe Wright that was all over Stavi. And now Stavi is flat on his back after the hit. The clock winding down as well.
This is about coverage. There's time to be able to throw. And now Wright comes off that edge, beats Castigan. That was good coverage down the field.
And a mistake here, I think, by Gus Malzahn, maybe not calling a timeout.
Agree with you.
Down to 30 seconds to go in the half, and this is obviously the decision from the Wisconsin sideline to play for halftime. They've let the clock wind down as far as they can. And off to Gordon. He gets to midfield. And now Gus Malzahn will call a timeout, but there's only 17 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, and you're going to have the punt in here and a change of possession, and you wasted about a good 30 seconds. It would be.
Quan Bray is dangerous if he gets an opportunity. But you can't imagine that Drew Meyer will kick it anywhere near him.
Then again, maybe not.
So it's a touchdown lead for Auburn at halftime. Wisconsin will start the third quarter with the football, but they trail after scoring on their opening possession. 14 unanswered for Gus Malzahn's team, and he's on the field with Quint.
Coach, what's the biggest challenge their defense is presenting you?
Well, first of all, they're pretty good, but they're kind of going odd to even. They're giving some different looks. They're doing a good job of mixing things up.
What happened on the Ricardo Lewis deep ball for the touchdown?
Yeah, hey, it was just a well-executed play. Ran by him. Nick made a very good throw.
They've marched into your territory a number of times. What's made the difference for your defense?
Yeah, our defense has really bowed their back there when it gets down here and made some big plays, kept them out of the end zone.
Thank you, Coach.
2 takeaways by Gus Malzahn's defense. A couple of the biggest plays in the first half. And our halftime score, Auburn on top of Wisconsin, 14-7. We'll head to John Saunders in New Orleans. Our live halftime report from the All-State Sugar Bowl coming up right after these messages. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the 2015 Outback Bowl here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, all part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Melvin Gordon getting set for the second half, and we're just about set for the start of the third quarter. A touchdown separates Auburn and Wisconsin. Auburn has the lead, low-scoring game. You'd think this is probably more the score that Wisconsin was looking for, in spite of the fact that they're down a touchdown. Their defense has kept them in it.
Yeah, and you heard Gus Malzahn talking to Quint Kesnick at the end of the half, saying you need to give him a couple different looks. And that's been effective for this Wisconsin team, because what they've done is they've taken their safety, Caputo, and they've used him, and you have to either account for him or not account for him. In this particular case, you're going to see Caputo down, and they have what they're calling is an odd front, which has been a switch for them. Always a man on the nose, and then a 3-down, 4-man look. Caputo becomes the guy. Who do you count for? In this particular case, everybody's back inside, and they're playing good, stout front. So now they'll give you another look. It's still that same 30-odd look. Okay, he'll reduce that end. And now you got Caputo outside. Do you account for him inside, or do you not account for him? In this particular case, they're going to bring him, and it's effective again. He's able to stymie Nick Marshall and have him step up, and the net result is another sack. So the last thing they do is they go with 2, okay? So now you got just 2 down guys, same personnel groups. And so they'll give you a completely different look. Again, they're going to make you have to account for people in the box on the inside. Who do you count and who do you not count? And this time again, they're going to bring pressure, and the net result is to force Nick Marshall out of the pocket. So they're giving them different look shoes. They make you account for different personnel groups and lined up in different spots. And so far, that's been effective for this Wisconsin defense.
That's Matt Millen. I'm Bob Wischusen. Quint Kesnick down on the field. Cameron Artis-Payne and the Tiger offense, they put 2 touchdowns up. Wisconsin did outgain Auburn 218 yards to 177 in the first half, but the 2 interceptions thrown by Joel Stavi, both in plus territory, both arguably taking points off the board for the Badgers, and now they start the third quarter with the ball.
They went into this game saying Stave will be the guy. He'll be the determinator whether or not they have a productive day or a non-productive day. And thus far, they've been right. Stave has to be consistent, Shoes.
Ugly but effective. It is a touchback, and Quinn Kesnick's down on the field.
Finishing drives is the biggest challenge we face. The words of Barry Alvarez, interim head coach of Wisconsin. Two critical personnel notes. Dan Volt's, the center, done for the day with that ankle injury. And you're going to see more of safety Tanner McAvoy, 6'6". We've seen him play both sides of the ball today, quarterback and safety. He's in there more as a center fielder with his great height to defend against the deep ball. Otherwise, Wisconsin looks fresh as a daisy, so to speak, Bob. I don't think the Auburn tempo has gotten to this defense quite yet.
Well, their offense has done a good job of keeping the defense on the bench at times. And now they start with a toss to Melvin Gordon. There he goes. Gordon down the sideline. Good start to the second half for the Badgers. A gain of 17 and a first down.
Nothing happens for Melvin Gordon on the edge if they don't, A, block the edge and get help out of their receivers down the field. And this is just another nice job of blocking down the field with Jordan Frederick. He did it in the first half, and he's doing it again here for the start of the second.
Melvin Gordon already with his 12th 100 rushing game of the season.
That was a quiet 100, wasn't it?
22nd time in his career he's gone over 100 as well. Here he goes again, right up the gut. He is a wonderful blend of speed and power. He gets hit, still gains an extra 3 or 4 yards after contact.
That's a great observation, Bob, because I don't think people put him in the power category. But you saw how he finishes that run. Watch him finish this run. From contact, boom, right there. He's still going. That's another 3 yards after contact with 4 guys on him. He runs behind his pads. It's a great trait.
Gordon again. First down, Wisconsin. So now you start to wonder for this Wisconsin offense, can they do what Barry Alvarez talked to Quinn Kesnick about? Twice in the first half they got into plus territory and turned it over. Another time they were inside the 35-yard line and punted. It's about finishing drives and putting points on the board. They've been in plus territory a lot to only have 7 points up.
Well, right now, with Llewellyn in at the center spot and Ray Ball at that left guard spot, you know, they already went through this one time. They look like they're on all cylinders right here.
End around. George rushing. Gets to the edge. That's another Wisconsin first down inside the Auburn 30.
Very well blocked on the interior and on the edge. Another good job of blocking down the field by the receivers. That's this really well done by Arneson. You see him leading the way, but you see Trailer 46. He had a key block to be able to get that. Here's Arneson clearing the way. That's just good blocking down the field, good team football.
Clement again. Grinds out about 4 more.
It seemingly looks like there's nothing there. And now you've heard me speak about runners' patience. Okay, some guys have it in spades. Clement's got it. Melvin Gordon has it. And so from the end zone, look, the inclination is to hurry up and get to Watt, okay? But the good runners slow themselves down and allow the blockers to complete their blocks. Not just get into them, but finish them. And that gives you that extra push.
Six straight runs to start off the second half for Wisconsin. And Melvin Gordon makes it a touchdown on run number 6.
It's that patience again. There it is. Allow your guys to do the job. And once you see the crack, your ability to accelerate. That's what Melvin Gordon brings that few can. See the patience slow down? Now see the crack, hit it. That is really well done.
We're tied at 14. The 27th rushing touchdown this season for Melvin Gordon.
All Melvin Gordon. That's what they needed. That's what they got.
Bob Wischusen, Matt Millen, Quinn Kesnick at the Outback Bowl. We're now tied at 14, and Matt takes us back to the Melvin Gordon touchdown.
Yeah, this is really fun. I want to show you some what they call runner's patience. It all starts, obviously, with the runner, but then you have to be patient to allow your fullback to make the block. And then this guard, see how he's pulled? He's sitting back off the ball. That's an indicator he's going to pull. Arneson is the third piece of the puzzle. Watch him wash it down. Okay, there's one. Here's your second block. That's Watt. That's very well done. Here's your patience. Slow it down and allow Kaskin to be able to make that block. Once you see that, here's your vision, and then here's the crease. You have to accelerate to hit that crease. He has all of it in spades, and runner's patience can't look any better than what Melvin Gordon showed you there.
The runner-up for the Heisman, the Doak Walker Award winner, caps an opening second-half touchdown drive. The first points that Wisconsin has put on the board since their opening drive of the game. So they opened both halves with touchdowns, and we are now tied at 14.
Shoes, they're big on the running game right now. 31 rushes, 216 yards. That's a 7-yard average for Wisconsin.
Corey Grant takes a knee. Screen to Artis Payne. And he gets some blocks. First down, Auburn, out to the 42. A gain of 18.
That's the part of Artis Payne's game that you haven't really seen a lot. He doesn't have a lot of catches, but he has good hands, and he's good in the open field. The one piece you'd like to see from him is to have that Melvin Gordon breakaway speed.
4 yards right up the middle. Marcus Trotter was first there for Wisconsin on the tackle.
Tell you, the kid who's been actually played a very good game is number 45, Herring. He's the only guy really who has any kind of size in there. He and Goldberg have some size, but he's been the guy who's been the nose. He's been the guy who's had to cover up the guard, and his job really is to define your point of attack. Not a glorious job, but one that he's doing very well right now.
One injury we haven't spent any time talking about, Conrad Zagzebski, the normal nose tackle. A knee injury, carted off against Ohio State. He's out. Here's Ricardo Lewis on the end around. Hurdles a man out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Sojourn Chilton went low. Ricardo Lewis went high, and he picks up about 17.
Yeah, usually after this is when they give you a lot of different motion and movement inside.
Artis Payne for 2.5. Michael Caputo on the tackle.
That's a big tackle there by Caputo. There was no one there. Caputo was the last line of defense.
Nick Marshall set to go quickly. Again, it's Artis Payne. And now it's third down and about 5, maybe 6 for Auburn to try and keep the drive alive.
They're going with pace here. 2 Artis Payne runs inside. Now they've slowed it down because they're going to make some substitutions. Keep in mind, when they make a substitution, you have to allow the defense to make it. Wisconsin chooses not to.
Third down and a long 5. And it's still Sammy Coates getting sparse playing time over on the sideline for Auburn. Here comes a blitz. A pump fake. Nick Marshall. Wobbly ball down the sideline. Quan Bray gets tied up with Chilton. No flag comes out. And now it's 4th down and 5. This is either a long field goal attempt or perhaps Auburn goes for it.
I would go for it if I was them. I think, I'm surprised he took that shot. Now they're going to kick it.
It'll be in the neighborhood of a 50, maybe a 51-yard field goal attempt for Daniel Carlson. And this would be his long this season.
Wisconsin has done a great job of mixing things up defensively and giving them different looks. And the Auburn offensive line has not found its rhythm.
Looked like Wisconsin's guarding against a possible fake. This from 51. It's got the leg. Good. Daniel Carlson's previous long was 46. He's good from 51, and that gives Auburn the lead. So Gus Malzahn shows faith in his redshirt freshman kicker. That would have been good from 60. No chance for Kenzel Doe on the return.
That's it.
There's Gordon. Dragged backwards after a gain of 9.
You know, I saw a number of scouts here today, and every one of them said the same thing. They said, boy, this 25 is pretty good, isn't he? And they've already done their homework. They know where they have them. A lot of times now you're seeing GMs and other guys, they want to see him in person. They want to see, because there's a difference between tape and then watching a guy live. You see the size, you see his quickness, you see all that thing, all those things, and it just kind of makes it come alive for you.
The pile moves for a Wisconsin first down. The ball pops out late, but sounded like we had already blown a whistle on the field before the ball came out.
Yeah, you see the far official had already started motioning and stuck his head.
Progress was stopped prior to the ball coming out. Third down.
No, first down.
He was beyond the line to gain, so that is a first down for Wisconsin.
First down.
Yeah, you're going to see it. He's already down. This official right on the top of your screen as he was walking in had already blown it.
Only a yard on first down this time for Melvin Gordon. Good job up front by Trey Williams, true freshman from Mobile, who came in to make the tackle.
Yeah, and very aggressive by Trey Williams. And so, you know, I don't want to kill the guy, but right now, if Stave had any confidence right now, you would go play action. Now is the time. They are streaming to the ball inside. Look at how tight they are to the line of scrimmage. Play action this thing.
Instead, it's a handoff to Clement. Drives for about 3 more yards. Casanova McKenzie on the stop for the Tigers. So this brings up a big third down. 3rd and 5 as we're inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, Big Ray Ball, the guard, number 71, he got up in kind of a lot of pain. And he's holding that left shoulder, left arm. But he's just sucking it up and he's going right back in. Big third down here.
Stave sets up the screen to Clement. The Tigers not fooled. But somehow he drags a tackler close to the first down. He's about a yard shy. Now, how confident is Barry Alvarez in the run game for the Badgers to maybe go for it on 4th and 1 from Wisconsin's side of the 50?
Wow, I would say no here, but
here comes Melvin Gordon.
He's rolling the dice. He is rolling the dice. They're saying, look, our offensive line is better than your defensive line. We're going to go get it. Let's see if he doesn't try to have him jump here with a hard count. 4th and 1.
Play clock at 9. They're going to run the play. It's Gordon. He's got the first down and more. Makes a move. Melvin Gordon inside the 20. Uses the stiff arm. Pile on. Is he in? It's a Wisconsin touchdown.
I guess Barry Alvarez was feeling pretty good about his running back, Gordon, who told us yesterday he's the best running back Wisconsin's ever had. That's some high praise. Watch the patience first. Now the vision back inside. He freezes Whitehead, and now watch the speed and the fight at the end. That's a phenomenal play. Watch him shake it. Oh, that was great. Good job by Whitehead to not give up on it. It's just that Gordon just fights him to the end.
Barry Alvarez was the one that makes the decision as to whether or not to go for it on 4th and 1. It's fun when the decision pays off.
I know Barry. I know he loves this.
Well, keep in mind as well, Wisconsin has been in plus territory 5 times in this game where they haven't gotten points.
Right.
They punted in plus territory twice, and all 3 Joel Stave interceptions were thrown not only inside the 35-yard line, one of them twice. Jermaine Whitehead picked off Stave at the 5. So Melvin Gordon's closing in on an individual Outback Bowl rushing record, and he's the reason, and maybe the biggest reason, why Wisconsin has the lead in a game where they have had plenty of opportunities to put points on the board on top of the 21 that they've scored and have not. Corey Grant, a delayed decision, brings it out and gets hit hard at the 19-yard line. Let's go down to Quint.
He's hurt.
When Gary Anderson left for Oregon State and Barry Alvarez was contemplating taking this interim head coaching spot, he called his grandson, who's a member of this Wisconsin Badger team, to get clearance to find out if it would, how it would resonate and if would it be okay. Grandson said, "Grandpa, it'll be great to have someone on the sideline with swag," and I think you saw that swagger on that 4th and 1.
And that's 36. You could see Joe Ferguson just. Hudson was brought over to the sideline, shaken up on that play. Ferguson is the grandson of Barry Alvarez on this team. And he liked the idea of Grandpa coaching the bowl game as Corey Grant picks up about 6 for Auburn on 1st down. So how will the Tigers respond now in the 4th quarter, trailing by 4, as Wisconsin's on top 21-17. We head to the 4th quarter of what has been a dramatic Outback Bowl here in Tampa. 15 minutes to go. Stay with us. Starting the 4th quarter on the ground, Cameron Artis-Payne, very close to a 1st down.
Looks like he's shy a little bit.
That'll make it 3rd down and a foot. And Melvin Gordon, if he has a big 4th quarter, he might break Barry Sanders' all-time record for most rushing yards in a single season. 84 yards shy of Sanders' record as of now. Artis-Payne, 2nd effort, gets the 1st down for Auburn.
There's that toughness again we're talking about. But I can't undersell how well this defensive front has played for Wisconsin. They've given them lots of different looks. They're not a very big group. They're giving you a lot of movement. But they have done a great job of schematic discipline and eye discipline.
Artis-Payne gets to the sideline. Dragged out at midfield by Tanner McAvoy. But it seemed like that misdirection caught Wisconsin napping.
See, they give you a lot of different movement, but it's the same play. It's just a simple power to the right side. It's all you do. McAvoy did a very good job of using the sideline as an extra defender. When you're in that position, it doesn't matter that you make a big hit. It just matters that you stop him.
Artis-Payne closing in on his 9th 100-yard game of the season. Up to 86 with a touchdown. There he goes again. Tripped up after a gain of 4. And Matt, your job when you were playing pro football was to be the guy in the middle of a defense to try and deduce what those keys were.
Right.
Make sure that all of that motion didn't fool. What are the keys for an inside linebacker when you see all of that motion across the ball?
Yeah, it's eye discipline. And what I mean by that is just staying with your key. Don't be fooled by all the stuff that's going around it. Auburn does a great job of movement. They give you people moving all over the place, yet it's the same straight handoff.
Corey Grant lost his footing or might have gotten to the sideline. As it is, he stood up at the 23. And we've got an injured Tiger behind the play. Avery Young slow to get up. And some pushing and shoving well after the whistle as well.
This was just a base play. Okay, this is just a simple zone read. and there's not much movement. It's just one step, and then what you have to be able to do is maintain the discipline of scheme. It's your relationship to the guy next to you. If you move and the other guy doesn't, you've created your own hole in the defense.
Nick Marshall spinning outside. Bottled up. He lost a couple. Joe Schobert, that time, a more secure tackle, as Schobert a couple of times has had a chance to bring down Nick Marshall for negative plays in his missed tackles. He made sure that time.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. There is such a thing as a good miss, because what he did was allow him to not get going, and then everybody else could get there to make it. So Schobert didn't make the tackle, he made the play.
8th play of the drive, Marshall to throw. First pass of this drive, and it's a tunnel screen to Melvin Ray. That's diagnosed pretty quickly. Warren Herring actually sagged back off the defensive line and helped on the tackle with Derek Landish. And now a 3rd down right on the doorstep of the red zone for Auburn.
Okay, and so this is where the feet of Nick Marshall come into play. Lots of times right in here, they'll give you a 2- or 3-man route, and Nick Marshall's feet beat you.
Wisconsin brings a blitz. Pump fake by Marshall. He's looking end zone. He's got a receiver. He's got a touchdown. C.J. Uzoma, his 3rd touchdown of the season. And the Tigers have the lead back.
That was a great throw. Great throw from the pocket by Nick Marshall. A very accurate, small window. Hillary has the coverage, and Uzoma is just going to slide up. It's almost, you're going to see them down around that right sideline. Look at the coverage. It's right there. Uzoma just goes out and gets it.
What a great throw as well, as he is getting hit right on the waist. You know, you don't realize how strong Nick Marshall is until you see him play in person. He's only 210 pounds, but boy, it's 210 pounds of muscle.
I think he's an excellent player. I think you'll see him. He's going to be a quarterback in the National Football League. He may not be the starter, but he'll be on the roster, and he will contribute.
Nick Marshall made that throw with a 240-pound linebacker draped around his waist.
Absolutely.
You know, we talked to Gus Malzahn yesterday. He said that mentally and physically, Nick Marshall is as tough a guy as he's coached in all of his 25 years of coaching. And you don't realize what a strong player he is until you see him in person. Here's Kenzel Doe on the return. Hard to find in there among all those bodies out to the 30-yard line. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Matt Millen and Quinn Kesnick down on the field. We're actually heading to San Antonio as soon as this game's over. We're going to call the Alamo Bowl tomorrow night on ESPN Radio. So hopefully you can join us for that radio call as well. And Melvin Gordon is not only tracking down Kevin Smith, he might catch Barry Sanders for the most yards in the history of college football in a single season. He's now down to about 81 yards away as he picks up about 3 on first down as Wisconsin finds themselves down by 3 again.
Shoes, I can't say enough about this Wisconsin offensive line. Keep in mind, the last time we saw them, they were getting their rear ends handed to them from an Ohio State team that just beat them up and down 59 squat. And they come out here and they have played an outstanding game against a good Auburn defense.
Gordon again. Spins into the secondary. Near midfield. That's another Wisconsin first down. 13 more yards for Melvin Gordon.
So if anybody was sitting at home and was paying attention to Melvin Gordon, he was sick, and I heard a couple people say, he wants to save himself for the draft. He doesn't want to get hurt. You know, any guy who's a competitor, anytime you have a chance to compete, you take it. And Melvin Gordon is doing just that today.
End around, Kenzel Doe. Boy, it's hard when all those eyes are focused on Melvin Gordon to find 5'8" Kenzel Doe on the jet sweep.
I like him. You know, you look at him, you think he's a returner, but they're using him the right way. I think Andy Ludwig has called himself a very good game. And especially here in the second half, the way he's been able to use Doe and then Corey Clement as well, while you know you're still feeding Melvin Gordon. And I can't say enough about how these receivers and tight ends have been doing a great job of blocking downfield.
Clement bounces it outside. Inside the 20. You know, you can hear Auburn Tiger fans at home right now, Matt Millen. Not necessarily to knock the coaches that are still doing their best for this Auburn team in the bowl game today, but they can't have Will Muschamp take over as the defensive coordinator soon enough, because they are getting run on today. It's over 350 yards rushing for Wisconsin.
Yeah, they are mauling this front. And there's some good players in that front.
Clement. First and goal at the 5.
I'm going to talk about being physical, Shoes. Just being physical at the point. I want you to watch. Look at these guys getting off the ball. Look at Watt. That's a great block. Clements just run where they ain't. That's all you have to do. The offensive line is doing a great job of coming off the ball. And Watt's little brother is putting on a physical show on these backers.
Clement again. This time he's going to lose one. Ben Bradley, his second year at Auburn, first as a starter, came through. His 4th tackle for loss this season. Now it's 2nd down and goal at the 6, and Melvin Gordon comes back in. You mentioned Derek Watt. JJ's here. The Houston Texans season is done, but he might be lifting some MVP hardware. Yeah. He had that kind of year.
He had a phenomenal year. You know, he reminds me of Howie Long. He really does. He's just got that kind of athleticism.
2nd down and goal. Gordon drives for the goal line. Is he in? No signal yet. It is a Wisconsin touchdown. And the Badgers answer right back.
An offensive coordinator, Andy Ludwig, has said this: I'm putting the ball in the hands of Gordon and Clement, and I'm trusting my offensive line to do the rest. And yes, Watt does a nice job. Costigan does a nice job. Traylor does a nice job. Everybody on that offensive front got their guy, but it was the finish and a fumble, actually. And he recovered his own fumble. But Gordon's put on a show here today.
7 plays, 70 yards, all running plays. And Wisconsin is now up to 369 yards rushing. And this extra point, an important one, it stretches the lead to 4. Under 8 minutes to go. 2 more touchdowns on the ground today for Melvin Gordon. He's got 28 on the season. Check that, that's his 3rd. Make it 29 on the year. The brand new trophy that will be handed out to the winner of the Outback Bowl. And that is 60 pounds of crystal. Will it go to Wisconsin or will it go to Auburn? We've got just under 8 minutes left to decide. Melvin Gordon with 3 touchdowns to go along with 230 yards rushing. Bob Wischusen here with Matt Millen. Corey Grant, short kick, only down to the 6. He gets ahead of steam. Out to the 29-yard line. So pretty good field position for Auburn as the Tigers have it back. And we talked about the fact that we had 2 of the best runners in America in our game today. Cameron Artis-Payne, 18 carries, 90 yards, a touchdown, 5 yards per carry. Matt, that's respectable in any game, but pales in comparison to the performance of Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon has shown us everything. He's shown power. He's shown running behind his pads. He's shown make you miss, and he's shown great speed.
Artis-Payne finds room on 1st down, caught from behind, dragged down by Arthur Goldberg. It's a gain of 6, though.
You know, every time they get into a different formation, you'll watch this Wisconsin defense, and they're calling out what the formation is and what the tendencies are. Watch them now, they'll adjust. That was a blitz, so they didn't.
Breaking tackles is Cameron Artis-Payne. That's a good run out to about the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. A gain of 12 and an Auburn first down.
And over 100 yards for him. The only thing they haven't done is feed him. This is a talented back.
Right up the gut again. It's Artis-Payne. Crosses the 50. 6 more for Auburn.
Artis-Payne, I love how complete he is. I love the fact that you ask him to block on protections and he's stout as stout can be. You ask him to carry the ball inside or outside, he can do it. He catches it as well. Just a good all-around player.
His 9th 100 rushing yard game this season. Marshall, strong throw. Sammy Coates has been quiet, but he picks up a first down here.
They have 3 guys, actually more, but 3 main guys who can make plays. Coates, for whatever reason, has been in and out all game long. He is a big-time playmaker. Artis-Payne's another one. And Nick Marshall can do the same thing with his arm and with his feet.
3rd catch for Coates for only 24 yards, and he's back on the sideline. Trying to turn the corners, Ricardo Lewis cuts it back. Spinning off Badgers down to the 25-yard line for 15 more. What happened to the defense we saw from both of these groups in the first half?
I was just going to say, if you're a defensive aficionado, close your eyes. But if you love offense, this is the game to watch.
Artis-Payne inside the 15, cut down at about the 14-yard line. And Quint, you're down there. It seems like they might have to get the oxygen out for both defenses.
Both defenses have reached their tipping point, and you see it showing up on this possession in poor tackling from Wisconsin. This game's a shootout. I think the last team possessed the ball is going to win this. Both defenses are toast.
Here's Artis-Payne to the 9.
So you keep your eyes on that clock. It's 5.5 minutes to go. So if you concede this touchdown here, Auburn goes back up on top by 3. Wisconsin then would have a full 4.5 minutes to work the entire field. Maybe more.
Quan Bray was a little late coming into the huddle, as now Auburn will try and get set with less than 10 to get the playoff. Corey Grant, about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. So under 4:45 to go, and it's 3rd down inside the 10.
And so, Shoes, here's what matters. So you've bent the whole time as a defense. This is the only play that matters for you right now. You have to stop them here and force them to go for it on 4th down to see if they make a decision. This is a huge play defensively. If you're Wisconsin, let's see if they don't bring some pressure. They're sitting in a zone. See the motion, nobody moves. It's a draw.
And Artis-Payne brought down all the way back to the 15. Now it's 4th down and about 11. And now you're almost compelled to kick the field goal, even though it won't give you the lead. Maybe you use your timeouts. Maybe Gus Malzahn feels like with 3.5 minutes to go, his defense can't get a stop. Do you go for it?
Trotter, phenomenal play. They were going to option off of him. They were going to leave him unblocked. He didn't bite on Nick Marshall. He sets up this 4th down. This is a great play by Trotter. Watch him outside. Comes back. I circled the wrong guy, but phenomenal play, sets up this 4th down.
4th down and 11. Play clock winding down.
Watch the feet of Nick Marshall. They played his own.
He floats it in the end zone. And it is dropped, but a flag down. They wanted Sammy Coates. Shelton was there in coverage. It'll be pass interference in the end zone on Sojourn Shelton.
Pass interference. Defense, number 8. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, first and goal.
I love this call by Gus Malzahn. You bring in Sammy Coach, you're just basically throwing it up. And he grabbed him. And Sojourn was in good position. He didn't have to do it. But Coach did a nice job of working his body back inside to give themselves a chance. That's awesome.
So now it's first and goal at the 2 after the penalty. Artis Payne at the goal line. He's in. Auburn's got the lead back on a Cameron Artis Payne touchdown.
Scoring that quickly could have been a blessing for Wisconsin. Gives them a little bit more time. Wisconsin also has all 3 timeouts.
And they also don't have to have the touchdown.
Exactly.
As if Auburn's able to complete the extra point, still only would be a 3-point lead. So the penalty in the end zone on Sojourn Shelton sets up Auburn at the 2. 1 play later, Cameron Artis Payne goes over from 2 yards out. What an Outback Bowl. 2:55 to go here in Tampa.
You know, Shu, some players you wait to see and they exceed expectations. Mariota was that for me, and today Melvin Gordon has been that for me.
That's Matt Millen. I'm Bob Wischusen. Quinn Kesnick down on the field, and here comes Melvin Gordon. And Matt, you mentioned it. 3 timeouts, 2:55 on the clock. So Wisconsin, they can do whatever they want to do offensively. They've got the time to run the ball, and that's been their bread and butter.
Andy Ludwig has the full complement of his entire playbook. Not be afraid to run the football. He can run his jet sweeps. He can run his reverses. All those things are big. They want to be able to keep the ball in the hands of Melvin Gordon.
Instead, it's the sweep, and Clement is brought down shy of the 30-yard line. Jermaine Whitehead, Jonathan Mincy, both up in run support. A modest gain on first down.
Yeah, I would have a little bit more pace here than this take your good old time, because you're going to run out at the other end here. First downs are important.
A field goal would tie, but running the ball combined with huddling up, that might cost them. Here's Gordon. There he goes again.
It's amazing.
With a stiff arm. And that stops the clock. And he takes a late hit.
And a flag.
We're going to tack on 15 more.
And Frost knew it when he did it. See him holding his head over there on the sideline.
That's the second time that Melvin Gordon has been hit late out of bounds.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, out of bounds. Defense number 17, 15-yard penalty from the out-of-bounds spot, automatic, first down.
You're going to watch 17 come inside out. He's running and he's hustling hard. Here he comes. He knows he's got to stop him. That one, and he knows, watch him hold, he knows it. He starts his hitting motion inside. He should have pulled back, though. Gus Malzahn not happy. Pulled him out of the game.
No gain. Montrevious Adams tripped up Gordon.
So shoes. So if you're this defense right now of Auburn, nothing matters the whole game. All that stuff that's happened to this point is meaningless. All that matters are the snaps ahead of you. So, okay, we haven't held the edge very well. We haven't come downhill very well. Now's the time to do it. Somebody's got to rally them and get them. You just have to make 3 more plays.
Now it's Corey Clement. Finds a crease, and that brings up 3rd down and about 3.5. And barely on the edge of field goal range now, Wisconsin with 1:13 to go.
And a timeout. And a good timeout. Nice job of managing the clock here.
It looked like Barry Alvarez was the caller of the timeout from the sideline.
I think this is 4-down territory. I'd take this on 4th down. You got the best rusher in the country. Let him run.
Stumbling is Stave. He couldn't get it to Gordon. Somehow Gordon found the football, and he might have lost a half yard.
That's
so
okay.
Now, what do you do on 4th down if you're Barry Alvarez? Do you try a long field goal to tie?
I wouldn't. You have the best runner in all of college football. You have the offensive line that's been getting after it all day. You bring it back, and let me tell you something. They've had 28 plays here in the second half. Only 3 passes, 25 runs. Hand the ball to Gordon.
So it's 4th down and 5. Rafael Gaglianone is the freshman kicker from Brazil. And it looks like rather than having him try a 51-yarder after the timeout, Barry Alvarez, he thinks his percentage play is to go for it. Stave will throw. It's bobbled and held on to. A 1st down catch by Sam Arneson. And for the 3rd time in the game, Wisconsin converts on 4th down.
That is the best throw Stave's made all day at the most important time.
Wisconsin with only 1 timeout left. Stave to throw again. He's looking end zone. Incomplete. Overthrew Alex Erickson. So now it's 2nd down and 10 at the 26.
You have 1 timeout left. You're in field goal territory. You want to get a better position. This needs to be Melvin Gordon.
You wonder if that's the only shot that Barry Alvarez gives the thumbs up to.
Yeah.
Does he now get in the headset and say, guys, run it with 41 seconds to go? Stave has thrown 3 interceptions, 2 of them down to the 5-yard line. 5-man rush. Stave to throw. There he is. Dumps it off to Gordon. Melvin Gordon can't break the tackle at the 21 of Rudy Ford and Jonathan Mincy. And now the final timeout will be called by Alvarez as Melvin Gordon shaken up on that play. Take one more look. And again, watch Montrevious Adams, who's only 6'4", 306 pounds.
Yeah.
Ouch. So now the decision for Barry Alvarez, 3rd down and 5 at the 21-yard line, but no timeouts. You're down to 29 seconds to go. If you run the ball here and put it between the hash marks, a sense of urgency to get the field goal unit out there.
Now you're going to throw. Now you're going to use Stave, but I'm dumping it, nothing down the field, just small underneath throws.
It's a 1st down. Out of bounds at the 11-yard line goes Kenzel Doe. So now with 24 seconds, you are in a position where you could take some shots at the end zone before settling for the field goal.
And you're still far enough away at 11 yards with the pass rush. You'll have about 15 yards before the end zone. And so you can work the back of the end zone to get your secondary back, and you can still throw it back underneath to a tight end or a crossing route.
And Melvin Gordon's back on the field.
Offset in a passing formation.
Here comes the blitz. Stave into the end zone. Does a flag come out?
No.
Alex Erickson got tied up with Thurisi. And Wisconsin doesn't get the benefit of the call in their end zone. Certainly not the benefit that Auburn got at the other end of the field that set up their go-ahead touchdown.
This is where Wisconsin does not have great speed. Okay, and you can use speed down here in crossing routes. But Thurisi, that's great coverage, and that's a great non-call. You can use speed in the red zone with crossing routes. They don't really have anybody who can run except for Gordon. See if you don't throw him on a little wheel down here.
Play clock at 3. Incomplete, intended for Kenzel Doe. Again, Thurisi was there in coverage. Now it's third down, and now you're down with 15 seconds. Matt, to the point, this next pass has to get in the end zone or out of bounds.
Yeah.
Now you can't run your field goal unit out there quickly enough if you're tackled on the field of play.
Okay, so what you also have are guys who can't run. So what you have to be able to go to is bunches, get them backed off, or some rubs or slash picks. That's what you have to be able to do down here. Let's see if they do it. Here comes on the top side. You're putting in a bunch. That's very smart. That makes you defensively back off. Here it is up top.
Here comes the blitz. Stavi, look at end zone. Incomplete. And a smart throw by Stavi.
It was.
He threw it over the head of Erickson and made sure that if Erickson didn't make a play on the ball, you don't sacrifice the field goal attempt. And now the freshman, Rafael Gaglianone, will come on to see if we may be headed to overtime.
So he had the one-on-one on the backside. Doesn't have the speed to be able to pull it off. It was actually good coverage, but a smart move by Stavi.
Drew Meyer, the punter, will hold. Right down the middle.
He kicked touchdown. Remember Gary Premium? Remember when he first came into the league and he said, I kicked touchdown.
31-31, and we are headed to overtime at the Outback Bowl. So a terrific game between Auburn and Wisconsin will continue. So here we go. I formation with Gordon dotting the I. A loss of 1.5 yards on first down. Casanova McKenzie comes through to make the tackle.
Yeah, very aggressive. Very aggressive from the linebacker spot. They got an 8-man front. He's been running an 8-man fronts all day. Watch McKenzie. He's going to take that gap right there. At that linebacker, as soon as it opens, boom, he's hitting it. That's well done.
Melvin Gordon lined up at first as an H-back, but now motions in to the tailback spot.
Same thing. Look at this. This is all stacked up front here.
Some misdirection, and Melvin Gordon. Not a ton on second down. Chris Frost was there to trip him up after a gain of about 3, so now it's 3rd down and 8.
So you have those 8- and 9-man fronts. How do you run at it? Well, you have to run to the side that has the fewer numbers, number 1, or 2, you start one way and come back the other way. That's why we've been seeing those jet sweeps to the edge so much.
Blitz coming. Stavi up the seam. It's a first down catch inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. Troy Fumagalli was able to wall off a defender and make the reception.
You said it right. Watch Fumagalli use his body to the inside. That's exactly what you have to do. You have pressure coming from inside. There's no one in the middle. Fumagalli knows, get the defender outside and make that throw easier for Stavi, and Stavi was right on the money. Well done.
Huge 3rd down conversion for Wisconsin, so it's 1st and goal. Hand off to the fullback for the first time today. Derek Watt gets his hands on the football and picks up 2.
Derek Watt's played a great game here today. He has been the battering ram all game long. He's been picking people up inside out, and he's allowed both those runners to be able to have big games, Gordon and Clement.
Melvin Gordon gets bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and goal coming up. Again, it's Casanova McKenzie on the tackle for the Tigers.
Okay, so you're running 8-man fronts, and you see a backer like McKenzie making a play. That tells you the offensive line hasn't been able to get to second level. Or the fullback. In this particular case, Watt does get to where he's supposed to, but McKenzie beats his block and is able to get there. You're gonna watch McKenzie sitting right back here. You got to get a second-level guy inside. And that, in particular instance, the guard has to look back in, and it sets up this 3rd.
Melvin Gordon on the sideline for 3rd down and goal. Stabby to throw. Extends the play. Still keeping it alive. Into the end zone. Incomplete. Off the left hand of Fumagalli. So the War Eagle defense gets a stop, and Wisconsin will have to try a field goal attempt here in overtime.
All that matters defensively for Auburn is that you stop them right here. Ooh. Well, I don't know why Corey Clement didn't try to catch that ball.
He was right at the pylon and could have just stepped inside the pylon for a score. 25 yards away for points in overtime. Gaglianone forced overtime a moment ago. And he's good again. So now the Tigers can win it with a touchdown.
So if you're Wisconsin defense, you got to hold for 3 plays. That's all you have to do.
So now Auburn's chance, and they can win it with 6. Marshall changes the play. Artis Payne, tackle for loss. Joe Schubert got him around the ankles for a loss of 2.
Schubert's had himself a heck of a game here today. When he hasn't made the tackle, he's made the play. Very smart game. He's played really well here today.
Sammy Coates is on the field. To the short side of the field at the top of your screen. Widest man left is Coates. And they'll throw a little wide receiver screen to him. He gets bottled up. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 12. And here's Wisconsin's chance to get off the field on defense. Again, it's Joe Schubert making the stop.
Yeah, it's Schubert this time makes the tackle, but the other guys are making the play. Schubert inside out, but because they hemmed him in, he had nowhere to go. Schubert was able to make that play, sets up this 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12.
It might be a double pass.
He can throw it.
It's a throwback to Nick Marshall. And Wisconsin not fooled. So Gus Malzahn dialed up the trick play. Joe Schubert, part of the group that stayed home. And now Auburn will try a field goal.
That is a great, watch Schubert on the top side. He sees it right away. He's going to throw this ball backwards. Now watch Schubert. He feels it. He just knows he's got to get out there. Doesn't know where. But what a great heads-up play to set up this field goal try.
45 yards away to extend overtime. Will it bend inside the upright? It does not! It hits the upright! And Wisconsin wins the Outback Bowl in overtime.
The Ooga Booga gets you every time. Shoes, he pushed the other miss, and it looked like he pushed this same thing. This doinked it off that right upright. A matter of about 3 inches. Barry Alvarez is a happy man.
The seniors for Wisconsin went to Barry Alvarez and asked him to coach the bowl game. He wasn't sure. He lost the last one in the Rose Bowl 2 years ago when he replaced the head coach in that spot. He wins today, and he's standing by with Quinn Kesnick.
Coach, how do you best describe this scene? I haven't seen student athletes celebrate like this in a long time.
Well, you know, they're letting off a lot of steam, a lot of emotion. They put a lot into this game. They've been through so much in the last 3 weeks, and the seniors through their career. But to have to play a game like this, to beat a very good Auburn team in overtime, they're just letting it all out.
I want to start with Melvin Gordon. How do you characterize the effort you saw today from him?
He's the best. I mean, he took some shots today, but he kept fighting. You saw him make yards in a lot of different ways. He is special.
You took some shots. You talked about swagger. We saw it. You went for it on 4th down 3 times, Coach, and I see the smirk. What was it like for you to be on the sideline?
It was good. It felt good. I had tremendous communication with our staff. Our staff did an unbelievable job. They were very professional throughout this. We had very good communication. There was never any hesitation what we wanted to do and how we were going to do it.
You think about closure for this senior group. What's it like for them now to walk off the field with that W after a rough, turbulent month?
You know what? These guys have won a lot of football games, but they haven't won a lot of bowl games.
Expertly done by Quinn Kesnick. He delayed that interview just long enough, almost as if the senior players from Wisconsin said, ask the coach just enough questions for us to get over and drench him with the Gatorade. That's exactly what happened. And how about that feeling for Barry Alvarez? Asked by the senior class to coach the bowl game. He wins the Outback Bowl, gets a Gatorade bath, gets carried off the field. You can't imagine a bowl game being more fun than the one that we just had the privilege to call. Terrific effort from Auburn. A wonderful performance by Wisconsin. And the Badgers survive in overtime, 34-31, to win one for the Big Ten. Coming up next here on ESPN2 at SportsCenter. So long from Tampa.